Hey friends, welcome back. Let's talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum and what's going to happen when Ethereum flips Bitcoin. Now, if you've been paying attention for longer than 4 seconds in crypto, you would come to the natural conclusion that Ethereum flipping Bitcoin, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We know Ethereum has a better money supply schedule that induces price pumps because it burns an enormous amount of ETH now, and it's going purely deflationary. And we also know that everyone is onboarding to smart contracts. Bitcoin has none of them. Bitcoin is just digital gold. Does nothing. Stores value, that's it. Ethereum, everybody's installing MetaMask. Everybody wants to use a wallet. Everyone wants to play around DeFi, gaming, metaverse, Ponzi's, yield farming, gardens, NFTs, different loyalty cards. They're going to make financial bonds, DEX trading. Man, the possibilities are endless, and that we've only just seen the first 2 years. Just imagine what's coming in the next 5 years. It's all coming to smart contracts. Ethereum is the leader of the smart contracts. Bitcoin has none of that. In this interview, I was very, very shocked when I saw this. MMCrypto on the left, he's one of the most popular YouTube influencers. And he says in here, he says in a specific part, they said, this gentleman on the right asks him, Lorenzo, he asks him, if Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin, what would your portfolio be? And then Chris says, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Bitcoin will be toppled. I think Bitcoin will always remain number one. That's what he says. He says, however, if Ethereum did flip it, even though I think it's very, very unlikely, my portfolio would be the other way around. So his current portfolio is 90% Bitcoin, 10% Ethereum. He says if this flippening happened, it would flip. He said he would have 90% Ethereum and 10% Bitcoin. Right? Now, this shocked me. I was like, whoa. Because I had a prophecy from 2 years ago. That's right. No, more, man. More. Since, yes, early 2020, man. It's been more than 2 years. Wow. More than 2 years ago, I have a prophecy that when ETH flips Bitcoin, the psychological damage done to Bitcoin maxis will be so vast and so deep, many of them will pump ETH. They will flip. And you will then see who is truly a dick rider of number one. These are the people who just support a soccer team because they're coming first. These are the people who just support the guy in charge. Those are those types of people. I'm not saying it's a right or wrong issue. I'm just saying that's a part of human nature. People follow the leader. That's it. You know? It's not right or wrong. It's humans. I have this tweet here. We're going to go into deeper detail. So I said in this tweet, I saw an interview with MMCrypto, popular YouTube influencer, where he said if he saw Ethereum flipping Bitcoin in the future, his portfolio would also flip and become 90% ETH and 10% Bitcoin. And I've also written here, the Bitcoin memes will be tested. And that's true. And I have this picture. We got to go deeper, man. Past 5 years, the Bitcoin's money supply. The money supply, this is actually wrong, by the way. Actually, no, this is right. You know, the past 5 years, since 2017, you know, the money supply went up by 54%. 54%. In fact, there was a burst of 39% in 24-month period, which is from in 2020 and 2021. Right? We increased the money supply by that much, but Bitcoin's ROI is 0 for 5 years. I know it says minus 13%, but you got to give it some leeway. 0, man, for 5 years. How long are you going to hang on to the Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin meme? Now, we are early. I am very early, bleeding edge. I'm a pioneer. This is what I do. I love what I do. I'm here every single day. I'm giving you free, high-value information. I don't dick ride anyone. I'm a leader. I make decisions for myself. But I also know how other people think. And not everyone thinks like me. and not everyone thinks like you. If you're listening, obviously you're getting good high value information and great content here. You're getting the best of the best. I am in shock that people still exist in denial that ETH will flip Bitcoin. This is the mentality of what's going on. So let's go to the juicy juice, okay? Let's go to the juicy juice right here. Here's the Bitcoin chart. On the top right, top left, we have Ethereum chart on the top right. But let's go to the ETH BTC chart. So first, you know what? Actually, let's look at the M2. I want to show you. This is it. Since 2017, M2's gone up 54%. 54% net change. Right? Now, okay. I am going to also be an advocate for Bitcoin here. All right? I will say Bitcoin, one, is a long-term savings vehicle, which kind of sucks because it's been 5 years, right? How long-term you want to give it? 10 years? Okay. You know, that's their argument. It's not right or wrong, it's their argument. Okay, so Bitcoin's a 10-year savings vehicle. That's okay. Next point. I could also argue for them saying Bitcoin, when the money supply was 57% up here, Bitcoin had hit 69K. However, what we see now, the money supply dropping 1.6%. Yes, this is true. The fact that Bitcoin has retraced the whole move doesn't mean the market is right. It just means it's irrationally oversold. So that is another consideration. That's another consideration to make. Remember, it's not right or wrong. It's just a condition that's happened. Market's given us a signal. Do you want to die on the hill and see how many times this happens? I'd like to ask you this question because I don't. Because this is enough of a signal for me. I thought Bitcoin was going 180K in the last bull, like back in 2020. I thought Bitcoin was going to top at 180K. And then by the end of the year, I thought, man, too many people are in plan B stock to flow. Everyone is thinking for 100K. And I thought we're still going to go to 80 or 95K, like right under it. And that was the top. I thought that was going to happen. But we couldn't even get that high because SBF was scamming us so much. But the fact that one drop kick like that could scam us so much tells you how it's now less sensitive to M2 liquidity injections when they print. And they keep printing, obviously. It's M2 up over time, but this is just another consideration. So this is the ETH BTC chart. So obviously Ethereum has a giant nutsack. A big, giant, heavy nutsack. And it's smiling. And let's mark where the flippening is. The flippening is here, 0.16. That's the flippening right now. So it did not flip back then because Ethereum had less supply out there at the time. But now it's got more supply, so its market cap is higher. So you can imagine its market cap would have been like here back in 2017. But now it's actually up here to match Bitcoin just because there's more tokens out. Just to give you an example. So I know this is happening. You know this is happening. But there's a lot of people who don't believe it, right? So my major prophecy was we're going to come and hit eventually a flippening area eventually. So 0.10, this is Ethereum being, you know what this 0.10 means? Ethereum is 10% of Bitcoin's price. Up here, Ethereum is 16% of Bitcoin's price. My prophecy was always between 0.2 to 0.3. And in long term, it would eventually hit up here. So 40%. I know it sounds like a lot, right? So 0.2 up here. Let's do 2025. 0.2 to 0.3. This is the window. So we don't know the path, man. We don't know the path. You know, this is what can happen. You know, oh no, we're going to zero. There's always that part. There's always that part. There's also the part where, you know, we actually do it. We climb up. We come up here. And we knock on the door of flippening. And then, remember, MMCrypto, who just said, if I find out that Ethereum is flipping Bitcoin, my portfolio flips. Because Bitcoin is no longer number one. This is a major prophecy, man. Because now people are going to think up here, oh my God, if Ethereum flips Bitcoin, who's going to flip it next? And you might. That's why I still believe the biggest alt season we'll ever see is actually going to be on this. That's what I think is going to happen. Right? So we had an alt season in 2017. This cycle, even though Bitcoin didn't perform really well, it was more of a Bitcoin cycle. And now I think in the next cycle is going to be an altcoin cycle again. altcoin kind of focused, right? So we probably see Bitcoin dominance drop even more, even harder. And maybe 2025, you know. So this is almost an inevitability if you just pay attention to the space. And what does this look like? So we know the ratio, right? We know the ratio. That's the important part. The important part's the ratio. I don't care about anything else because you know they're See, this is why. You know they're printing money. You know Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to both get valued because they're making more dollars than they're making Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it doesn't even matter about the USD price. You just know that you want the ratio to go up, which is what we've been right. Like, I just want to, let me just remind you when I made my prophecy. I want to point to you on the chart. Okay, so I didn't know anything about Ethereum. Nothing. I learned about Ethereum here. I'm not joking. December 2019. Yes, I know it's come as a surprise to many people. I had no idea. Didn't know about Twitter, YouTube, nothing. I learned about Ethereum here. I'm not joking. After 6 hours of research one day, I'm like, oh wow, this thing's going to flip Bitcoin. And this is the most undervalued thing I'm ever going to see in my life. I couldn't believe it. You can go back, ask anyone. I said, you have to go all in on Ethereum right now. Right now. Like, and I was telling my friends, as you know, these green candles started happening up here, this part, I was like, dude, we're going to miss it. Oh, look how much longer it took, you know. But you know me, I get too excited. I know I do. But it's happening, man. It's happening. Look when I made the call. Look on the chart where I made the call. After 6 hours, I knew it was going to flip Bitcoin. So, kind of tells you, like, this is not something, we couldn't see. You just sit there, do the maths. You're like, okay, well, it's obviously going to happen, right? But, what's going to happen with the prices here? Each Bitcoin and Ethereum price, anything can happen, of course. Maybe we hit that Ethereum being 10% ratio. Maybe Bitcoin only gets to like 30K or less. There's maybe Bitcoin gets to like 26K here. And Ethereum gets to 2600. That's also another possibility. Where's 2600? Up here. That's also possible because of the burning and stuff. You know, because I did the merge, right? 1 year after the merge was here. Yes, 12 months after the merge, we'll see a huge supply shock. It happens with the money system too, economics and everything. It's kind of crazy, right? Why does it take 12 months for money to filter around and do a loop? I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Once again, more high value information you're getting for free. So that's what I expect around September next year, somewhere around that period. Maybe ETH is just screaming, and no one can explain it, but we know why, man. They did the merge a year ago. Okay? So, what would Bitcoin's price be when... Let's make these bigger. What will Bitcoin's price be when Ethereum is screaming? You know, look, I actually think one of my prophecies is that Ethereum breaks its all-time high before Bitcoin. Like, I won't be surprised, and you shouldn't either, if Ethereum hits like 6K, right? Ethereum hits 6K when Bitcoin is only 60K, right? And this is not going to come as a surprise because right here, we already know Bitcoin made a hugely lower low. And where is Ethereum on the other side? Ethereum made a higher low. So we can already see these clues. And, you know, I do fundamentals as well as technical, but the technical, I don't really care. I want to get the fundamental right because you know there's weak hands out there. Like, look, I just told you about MMCrypto, Chris. He's not, like, he's read the fundamentals, but doesn't actually truly believe and understand them. He's probably going off the triangles in the macro, and he's looking at, oh, well, you know, ETH BTC is still under 0.16, therefore Bitcoin's the leader, therefore it's always going to be the leader, therefore my portfolio is 90% Bitcoin, 10% Ethereum. And if that flips, I flip, you know, that's his condition, you know. But we've done the research. That's why we are taking more risk, we will get more reward. It's simple as that. Everyone is going to dick ride Ethereum when it flips Bitcoin. They're going to get shit all return. And rightfully so, you know? Because everyone, you got to remember, back to your friend Somi, screaming at everyone, you have to get Ethereum and go all in now. When I was screaming, I was getting called the absolute biggest redacted person who needs to seek help and go to a mental institution. I was getting told that every day, just like I am now. I've been through it. It's nothing new. So, there is a possibility that, you know, Bitcoin only tops out at 100K in the next cycle and Ethereum hits 20K. I don't like that possibility because that would suck for Bitcoiners, but that's a possibility, man. That's a possibility. Maybe that happens. You know, because you're buying Bitcoin at... Think about it. Bitcoin hit 16K, okay? You got 16K, 100 divided by 16. You get a 6.2x on the bluest of blue chip assets out there. The bluest of blue. Like the guard, the old guard, the oldest crypto, Genesis blockchain. You have all the maxis cheering for you. You deserve that, honestly. That's all you get. You're not taking any risk. What risk are you taking to buy Bitcoin now besides the risk of missing out other stuff? Because that's not a real risk. What risk are you actually taking compared to what you were taking when CZ bought it at $800? Infinitely different risk. Bitcoin is no longer associated in the lexicon of everyone's mind with terrorism, child abuser coin, secret underground drugs. No one says that, man. You got a country onboarded. Elon Musk says, yeah, it's cool, man. You got all that stuff. It's different. The risk is now you're just waiting for a Bitcoin ETF. Is it going to be in 2 years or 5 years? That's your risk. That's completely different risk threshold to the other games we're playing, you know? Remember, you were owning Ethereum. I was telling Ethereum to get in, you know? I knew about this merge stuff coming one day in the future. I knew about it coming. I'm like, yeah, they're going to do it. Why? Because look at the shape of Vitalik's head. So this is the risk. So back then it was risk. Now it's happened. And the Bitcoin maxis have gone silent. So, you know, we will get compensated for our risk. That's it. And we deserve it. That's how the world works in investing. Not all the time, but, you know, they're ticking all the boxes so far. Nothing's guaranteed, but, you know, it's kind of, this is the game we have to play. So, at the end of the day, we now have to think. What's the market gonna do if ETH flips Bitcoin? What's it gonna do? Right? No one's even thinking about this because you're listening to me. I'm already like 9 steps ahead of everyone else. No one even believes this is possible. I've been thinking about this since 2019. And I've been thinking about, oh wow, when this happens, it's probably gonna be the biggest psychological shift. All right, this is 2024, maybe too optimistic. Maybe sometime up here, you're gonna have the biggest psychological shift in most of the money stored in Bitcoin. And that's why when it flips, we're probably going to see like a big green weekly candle that's going to, let's do a ghost thing. I want to see, where's the little ghost? Here we go. Yes, just like a little breakout. That's why when it flips it, it might just scream, absolutely scream. When it hits it from 0.16 go to 0.22, right? After it's knocked on a door a few times, resistance. Just because think about MMCrypto going, oh, my portfolio is 90%. It's going to go down to 10%. You know, and I'm going to put 90% into Ethereum. So, you know, this information, very useful because you get to plan now. That's the whole point of this video. To get us to start planning now. This is not too late. ETH BTCs, yeah, ETH BTCs high. High to me because look when I've been talking about it. But it's still like 3x of where it's going to get going. And that's why I always say you have to chart everything against Ethereum. If you can buy stuff cheap against Ethereum, man, you get to kill it. Effectively, if you know the flippening is happening, if you can find the coin that is on a huge discount to Ethereum and you're going to get around the 3x, you get to buy ETH BTC down here. It's the equivalent, right? Let's do from here. Let's do where 200% is. Okay, a bit higher. You get to buy it down here. Literally, that's if you find a 3x. If you find a 4x, right? This is crazy. Oh my god, there you go. If you can find a coin where its ETH chart where you buy today is a discount, and if you get out at your target, you're gonna get a 4x. Which is plus 300%, you are effectively buying ETH at ETH BTC down here. You're buying it at the low. That's another way to think about it when the flippening happens. So that's another way to get ahead of the game. I will speak about this more in the future, so don't worry. But I think this is a good leeway. Remember, friends, I love you, and until next time.